In this video, we're going to use what we know about addition and subtraction of like terms to simplify a couple of equations. So these are more complicated equations, but the first example that we're going to use is 3x plus 2 minus x plus 4 equal to negative 5 minus x minus 4. And what we want to do is, again, use our knowledge of like terms to simplify both sides of the equation and eventually solve for x. So what we want to do is remember that when we're dealing with addition and subtraction, our like terms have to have the same variable and the same exponent, or they have to be whole numbers. So for example, if we look at this first term, we have just x to the first power. Here we have an x to the first power. So these are going to be like terms. We have 3 of them, we subtract 1 of them, and we're going to be left with 2 of them, so we have 2x. We also have 2 whole numbers, a positive 2 and a positive 4. When we add those together, we'll get a positive 6. Now we want to use like terms to simplify the right-hand side. We have 2 whole numbers, a negative 5 and a negative 4. Adding those together is going to give us a negative 9. And then we have minus x. Now we have some like terms, but they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. So what we can do to solve for x is add x to both sides of the equation because we have a negative 1x over here. If we add positive 1x, we also have to add positive 1x to the left side. Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. So adding x to both sides, we're going to get a negative x and a positive x, which will cancel over here on the right. But then adding our like terms, 2x plus 1x gives us 3x. We're left with 3x plus 6 is equal to negative 9. Now we can subtract 6 from both sides because we have a positive 6 over here. We'll put a negative 6, and then we also have to do it to the right-hand side. So we get a positive 6 and a negative 6 to cancel, leaving us with just 3x. And then adding our like terms, because these are both whole numbers, a negative 9 plus a negative 6 is going to give us a negative 15. Now we can divide both sides by 3, so we'll divide both sides by 3, and we're just left with x because we get the 3's to cancel, and negative 15 divided by 3 is a negative 5. So our solution is x equals negative 5, and we got there by using our knowledge of like terms to simplify both sides of the equation. So if we look at a second example, over here on the left-hand side, we have a 2x and a 7x. When we add 2x's to 7x's, we get 9x's, so 9x, and then we're just left with the minus 5, the whole number, so that's the left-hand side. The right-hand side, we have a positive 5 and a positive 10. Because those are both whole numbers, they're like terms, and we can combine them to get 15. And then we have this 3x by itself, so plus 3x. Now, in order to solve for x, the first thing we'll do is subtract 3x from the right-hand side. If we do that to the right-hand side, we also have to do it to the left-hand side. And we want to line this up under our 9x because 3x and 9x are like terms. So when we do that, over here on the left, we'll get a 6x because we have 9 of them minus 3 of them leaves us with 6. So 6x minus 5 is equal to 15. And over here, a positive 3x and a negative 3x canceled to be 0. And of course, 15 plus 0 is still 15. Now I can add 5 to both sides to get rid of this negative 5 over here, so plus 5. And of course, I'll get negative 5 and positive 5 to cancel, leaving me with just 6x on the left. Over here on the right, 15 plus 5 gives me 20. And then dividing both sides by 6, I'll get 6's to cancel, and I'll be left with x is equal to 20 over 6, or dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 2 to reduce the fraction, I get 10 over 3. So this is another way that you can use your knowledge of like terms to simplify equations.